here. And we should be good to go. Hello and welcome to All Places to Be Our from Australia first. Speedrun. Then we'll do Canada. And after that, I don't know, have a think. There are a bunch more formables that we could do, or we could do one of the other achievos. Ready? Hey, Salah. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Ready? Steady. Cook. And lastly, GB. No, I'm not allowed to. Fine, I'm gonna have to wait a little bit. Well, then, which would I prefer? Would I prefer not you? I'd probably prefer not you. But I'm not allowed to. Fine, we will allow you then. Next. Money. Why pay people? Paying people's silly. Next. What do we want to make? The answer is wood economy. Where's their available people? Sydney. Sydney has available people. New Holland? Australia. I don't see a New Holland. I see a New South Wales. Anyway. Wait, are you improving with me as well? Yes, they're improving with me back. Well, that's nice of them. What else do we need to do? We need to work out what laws we want to pass. Moving towards protectionism would be nice. Not that it really makes much of a difference because we're in GB's trade sphere. So that's one option. What other options do we have? I tend to like using this for seeing what options we have. Ah! Militia, of course. Absolutely. Then we can stand down our pretend armies. Speaking of our pretend armies, let's delete off the ones that we don't actually want. And I think there's one over here? No, I'm wrong. Well, that's fine. So here, check these. No, that's all perfectly well, keeping one is acceptable, but two is maybe a little bit much. Especially because we mooch off of the, No, I'm not seeing... There's been issues the last couple of days with, or it seems to me that there's been issues between servers here and elsewhere, because I am again showing 0 dropped frames on my side. Like the little number, dropped frames. 0, open bracket, 0.0%, close bracket. Now, this one is an inefficient one. There are more efficient authority per amount of money generated taxes available. So yes, we can swap away from this one that isn't even earning a whole ducat per authority to some that earn more than 1 ducat per authority. Like opium and liquor. Where is services? Do we have any sensible amount of services? Because services is usually a pretty efficient one. Yeah. Papa Great Britain is trying to beat up Ming. We don't care. We need nationalism, because otherwise we're not allowed to click the buttons. Yeah, I was watching Antares. He's not so much doing the run as much as he is practicing it. Because, well, this. And I did go and warn him about that, and he's like, yeah, I'm not really running. Even though he has it in the title. Probably should be titled Practice, but I'm not gonna, you know... Curmudgeonly old man demands technically accurate title. I'll take the extra influence for the moment. Now, do we overproduce or underproduce what? Certainly tea is in high demand, but that's only because they're currently at war with Ming. As soon as the war with Ming dies down, Ming will start buying or selling tea again unless Ming wins, which isn't impossible. I have seen Ming win before, or at least grind... No, not win. I've seen them grind out a neutrality, is the more accurate answer. So pretend not tea. Iron is in demand. Coal is reasonably in demand. There isn't actually that much demand for wood. We're about to cap on this, though. So we should go build another one of these. There's no such thing as mission trees, Hal. For which I am eternally grateful. Okay, so we swapped over to what I love. I like this. Tarkus was espousing the merits of a standing army. But, you know, a standing army costs money all the time. And why pay your army when most of the game you aren't at war? My feeling is that it's probably worth it to, lean more heavily to the militia side. Could be wrong. Could totally be wrong.
I've heard there are jobs here.
Yeah,
I want to be a lion tamer.
Cheers. Thank you kindly for the follow. Okay, and then that's going to tank our available. This is going to drop to like -2-ish. It starts to come online. And it starts costing wood and fabric and wages. It's two years per click, Bane. We got to wait for these to hit 50 and for Love with Great Britain to hit 50. And then it's 2 years for every time you can click the button to absorb the other Australians. So this one is... This is going to come down to, does GB drag you into wars such that you can't click the button? This is going to turn into a pure RNG run, I'm pretty sure, in terms of competitively. Is Great Britain calling you into a war when you need to click the button to get an optimum time? Because this button needs you to be the very top of these requirements is at peace. Yes, friend of the channel, Bane. Look, another sword person, Salah. Another sword person. Rare though they are. Does the unification button work for you? You mean the nation formation button? As in culture, nation formation, or this button but for Germany? I'm not quite sure what you're talking about, Salah, so, I can probably have two of them. Okay, so you mean the same sort of thing, but for Italy or Germany, because they have things to do with that, as I understand. I have not played Italy or Germany, so I can't help there, sorry. Actually, we should only do 8. Which I suppose will actually mean is 5. No. I think Italy and Germany have something similar to this that lets them eat the other Italian/German states, but I am not sure. I have not played them. I would expect that to be the case, but I do not know. Oh. Well, GB has Beijing, so we expect Ming capitulation. So the default rules, very sexy fox. No speed 5, so that it is less of a test of who has the best computer, and more of a test of who has the best strategy/execution. More or less, most people's speed 4 will be about the same speed, unless you have a true potato of a computer, whereas speed 5 will go absolutely as fast as your personal computer can handle going. Hopefully that answers the question to your understanding. Good. Those are both coming down to the point where I could even have some things that aren't these now. Iron being critical is a bit of a surprise. Furniture and furniture isn't terrible. You could chuck a couple of furniture factories in here. No, Breezium. We will be moving on to doing Canadia. We will do basically the same thing, but for Canadia. I expect the rules will... I mean, I read them yesterday, but I don't remember. I assume that they're going to be the same as the EU4 ones, because everything else that I remember reading was just copy and pasted for the EU4 ones, where it's... exploits are allowed except lobby exploits. And that does look like that's how they've set it up here, where everything is allowed except, like, nation switching. We're going to have to start taxing a bit more, because this is depleting a bit too quickly. We could also look at another law to pass, seeing as we got our, that done. We could move towards protectionism, and people like that, so why not? Well, then they typically create a legacy category, Salar. They create a category that is like this achievement in version X or earlier, where the bug is still in the game, and then have another category for once the bug has been eliminated. $20? How long until this finishes? A bit longer than 20 is the answer. I don't want to delete the absolute last unit, but there is certainly something for it. So you know what? Zero army. Save ourselves another 50 bucks. GB wins. We could look at these. What is sensible now? Liquor isn't horrible. And of the remaining luxury clothes and luxury furniture, the market should be stabilizing now that we yeah, T is no longer at plus infinite. Trade routes for T is already ramping up, month by month by month by month. We can begin sucking up to Mama Great Britain. Looks like we're going to have to ramp that up one more step even. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. None of those are useful to us. This is the new limiting factor. The good horsey economy is important. Technically, it would make a loss. People want to fight. Fight to your heart's content. Good lord, this is painful. Painfully slow. Okay, as long as he's eating these and not this, it's fine. Poor Tahiti. Three battalions. Good luck. Still like half a year until the furniture industry comes online. I was wondering why that scrolling wasn't applying. The wood market is basically in balance. Blah, blah, blah. Success chance or happy farmers. We'll take the success chance. I I see no need to go help Great Britain. Why would I raise my armies and pay for them if I don't have to? So we can survive hopefully long enough to get this done. No, very sexy fox. We did Surf's Up yesterday. At least kind of yesterday. I started before midnight my time. Even if it extended into today my time. Who's going to win the election? Not the Conservatives. Worse than the alternative. Well, actually, they are still going to win. It was yesterday for you. Parties, particularly the Agrarian Party, are struggling to raise funds. I'm not giving them money. I'm not giving them money. I'm not giving them money. I don't care if they don't do as well in the election. I am not giving them a single copper. It's a native tag. So a decentralized power. If you go look at their actual population, 100% native Australians. Same thing down here in lesser Australia. There are some native lesser Australians. Okay, the furniture industry is about to come online. We are happy to use tools. We get to mooch Great Britain's tools. We are happy to produce luxury furniture and sell them to Great Britain. It starts building up its cash reserves, and we start consuming those cash reserves instead of having to spend to do the buildings ourselves. How's our crime? Well, about 1 in 10 people are radicals. I don't know about criminals. We got nationalism, which is the only thing we need, really, for this speedrun other than making everyone happy, so we could click whatever we want from now on. I probably like the extra agriculture one. We do have some starting farms, and being able to upgrade those farms to the better production method wouldn't hurt. That's almost 10%. It is. One in 10 is indeed 10%. Look at it. Spewing money. Nom 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 nom. this would be so nice as to finish. %. Boo, but at least we got progress. Ooh, is the demand for wood going up? Yeah, the demand for wood is going up. And so our balance is getting a bit happier. Nothing else to really do except wait for these to hit 100 and then click the button. Hey, Nitro. Howdy, howdy, howdy. I did see your flag mod thing. Sadly, mods are not allowed while speedrunning. They've been even more draconian than with EU4, where they allow certain visual mods. They don't even have the allowance for, say, a colorblind mod in this, which maybe they'll change their position, but for now, the rules are 0 mods whatsoever.
I've heard there are jobs here. I want to be a lion tamer.
I did not know that. Well, I feel a bit sillier about complaining about it. It's probably not perfect. Let's go with we could improve it. I went live because you ended Tarkus. I was enjoying watching you, so don't stress. I would have continued to not stream if you had have continued to play game. So, Laurid Sub asks, how can I help my national reserves? If you're having trouble while building, maybe you've built too many construction industries relative to your ability to support them. Maybe you are, when you have construction going, causing massive fluctuations in your building goods. So like if you build lots and lots of construction industries, they will need lots and lots of timber to start with, timber and cloth to run them. And then if you try and make up for that really high cost of running them by pausing them and unpausing them and doing micro on pause unpause, you will cause gyrations in the demand for wood and cloth in your market. As for how do you improve cash reserves, well, you have profitable industries. In this case, we're going for exporting fancy furniture back to Great Britain. We're going to make a couple of those. So, profitable industry. If it's making more money than it costs to run, the excess starts to flow into here. And this gets eaten up when they are briefly not profitable, either because of market fluctuations or things like raising wages. And you might have to decide, am I going to subsidize running a specific industry? How do you export to Britain since we're in the British market? As in, we export via being in the market, right? Their demand, Great Britain's demand for furniture, because they've got lots of rich people, causes the price in this market to be higher. So we get paid more. I mean, I don't mean export in the sense of create an import or export route. I mean export in the sense of we are making something and we do not consume it, but we are selling it. Or we are getting paid more because the price is high in our shared market. It isn't, you know, it is an export, but it's an export in terms of what we're doing. It's not an export in terms of mechanics. Cheers, Grand Gobbo Garb. Grand Gobbo Barb. Thank you for the raid. Thank you for the host. Yeah, if you look at the actual consumption would not be in us. See, Great Britain, especially London, does all the consuming of furniture. We consume basically zero, but they are willing to pay top dollar for the furniture that we do make and send back to them. A bit less now. What's going up in price? Wood is going up in price. So once this is done, we go back to making more. Yeah, that's fine. You've been having trouble understanding the market mechanics when in customs, union, and other foreign markets. Also finding it hard to structure an economy for separation or longevity since you become so ingrained in that market. It depends if you're the big boy in the market. If you're the big boy in the market, then because you're just so much a fraction of the pie, what you do matters more than what everyone else does. But if you're a little person in a big market, you are subject to whatever whims and fancies the big persons choose to cause you to have to endure. Okay, that second furniture factory comes online. But wood is becoming far, far, far too expensive, so we might go trade some of our other... And this was something that, so Tarkus, the way I tend to prefer swapping my PMs is you come in here, and you drop this down, and you can look at all of them on a state-by-state basis, rather than you needing to click each state and look at each state what they're set to. So because at the moment hardwood is becoming too expensive, we can swap each individual state in here, or you can swap all of them at once using the top level one. Just throw the T in the C and exit the market. If only it was so easy. Two more % with Great Britain, and then we can click our button to eat one of the neighbours. Yeah, fancy grain so that we can do... I really, really like the efficiency gains on, as low pop nations, I really like the efficiency gains on cow wheat. Or wheat feeds cow, cow produces poo, poo increases efficiency of wheat. Okay, get ready to click. Click, 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 click. We absorbed New Zealand, so we actually have bad luck there. We would have preferred to absorb SA, Tasmania, or Western Australia. Couldn't we go up to Sawmill? We could think about it. Depends how expensive tools are. And tools are pretty expensive. We'll test it out on one. Whether it's worth the cost. People say they'd rather work other jobs at the moment. The furniture plant is too... Pay in the furniture plant is too good. No one wants to work the logging mill. You can get into a bit of a Ponzi scheme, Dodds. I tend to find that if you're someone like... Oh my god. Ooh, and they actually occurred in a sensible bit of China instead of like way out here for once. A heavenly kingdom. I'm surprised their GDP is so close. I suppose they did get a fair bit of this coastal region, which is really the rich region. Well, there's also Chengdu. Sorry, Sichuan. This bit is also quite rich. Anyway, because we clicked the button, we get a modifier, which we can see in here, that says, wait 2 and a bit years, and then you can click the button again. So from here we play the waiting game. You think they tried to avoid that by making wood rather rare? I mean, Ming has a lot of wood to work with. But, yeah, as Ming you can kind of just go... Wood and construction industries for, like, the first 10 years. Basically make nothing but wood and construction industries. Because we don't have the, we don't start with a big enough balance to Ponzi scheme. If we tried to run another construction industry, it would, even one, would take us all the way to negative now. Although, once this gets to more like 60%, we can probably handle one. And now that we're making good enough money, we can stop overtaxing. So, which one of these is the least effective? That would be... actually, that one. So that we aren't generating extra radicals just by existing. So no wood in the rainforest. We don't have rainforest. We are not rainforest. We are temperate. This bit's tropical rainforest. And this section down to sort of here-ish is fairly tropical rainforest, and then it turns into sort of something midway between forest, and tropical rainforest. Ah. You mean in here? Sorry. We are in Australia, and you said SA, which is South Australia. Blah, 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 blah. Wants to build us a uni. I mean, it won't hurt. Sure, you can have a uni. We'll pay for an extra uni. Ghana, Colombia, same thing. Yeah, we don't get the subgroups. They're all just... they are all just Aboriginal. So there's no, like... representation of the 300 plus local different languages here. They're all just clumped together into one amorphous mass. Yes, South Australia, South Africa, South America. There's probably some American state with SA. I don't know my American states well enough. North America means not available. Not New Andalusia. Okay. Better farm. So, farm may now eat cow poo, and cow may now produce poo when fed more grain, and they synchronize, like they harmonize and merge with each other. Could you become wine? You could, and it would even make a fair bit of money. So you can become some wine industry. And then what? Probably mechanical tools. We have furniture workshops. Being able to up their efficiency with the fancier tool thing would be useful. Wood is still too expensive at the moment. So continue pumping out the logging camps for more wood cheapening. In esports, it's colloquially known as near airport. Rough. How much longer till we can click button again? And could we flip something else now that we got our... We're already on that. We're already on that. We'd like to flip to this, but eh. Are there any other of these that we'd actually care about? Not ultra. Oh, we did eat someone. We should make sure that that state is... Ah, yeah, but it was these guys, so it was already a fully incorporated state. Don't need to go click button to spend bureaucracy on absorbing it. Wouldn't we mind? Do the people cry out for outlawed dissent? They do. We're not giving it to them. Let's see if we introduce the intelligentsia into the... Here, if we can get something like total separation or moving towards not being as racist. Yeah, that'll do. Liberal utopia. Yep, nationalism is all we need. Nationalism, improve relations with them, improve relations with Britain, be at peace. Tick, 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 tick. Yeah, make the industrialists stronger, why not? We're getting screwed over by gold mines. So, unfortunately, these states, although they have a, in some ways, nice chance of finding gold, because the gold mines spawn in and cost you 2 infrastructure each, you can end up in a situation like this where, because you've suddenly found six gold mines, your infrastructure in the state is tanked. Which then means that these are going to be utterly, utterly useless because they don't have reasonable market access. Which is a bit unfortunate. How many more months till we're allowed to click the button? 13 more months, so July of next year. So, some of the states were certainly penal colonies. New South Wales originally was. WA was. Tassie was. This one. This was not. This was a, These were just people trying to, like, move somewhere that wasn't rainy and miserable and crowded to somewhere where they could, you know, the same sort of thing as move to America for land of opportunity, etc., etc., etc. And so, those of us who live in this glorious city, we lord it over the other states that they are all filthy criminals. In a fun ribbing way, not in a, like, genuine persecution way. What story do we tell our tourists? We mostly tell our tourists go visit the wine industry and go visit Kangaroo Island. Look at all the pretty koalas and stuff. Sure, people must know of his depravity. This is all going well, although we're kind of reaching the point where I could stop doing some of this again for a bit. Have a look at what the market actually wants, rather than just producing furniture because I say so. Although there is still demand for furniture, there's a greater demand for glass. So we'll come down to Victoria and say let there be some glass works. We can house about 3 of them. Do we have access to the extra fancy? We do, which would mean we need a lead. Lead is available up here in Queensland. Are we building 2 at a time? We aren't. We're building... So I could cancel 2 of those. And we can have 1 lead mine instead. Yes. Gentle ribbing. Friendly ribbing. I reckon we do those 3 and then that. Well... Yeah, I should do it in that order, because if there's no demand for lead, or if there's no shortage of lead and production of lead... Yeah, the other order, I think. Ribs? Delicious ribs. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. Chili baby back ribs. Start lowering that tax rate. Make people a bit less unhappy with us. May as well be dinner time. Oh. That is a very late dinner. No, these are all fine. It was July of next year. Was it not? Yes. And then we pray that it doesn't target... Well, it already targeted the wrong one. So it doesn't really matter which ones of these it targets now. It's an extremely early dinner. You're having tomorrow's dinner. Really, really, really early. Good. Yep. The other advantage from changing those production methods in here is that it changes the default. So that when you build a new one, it defaults to the one you want. Grrr, angry. Gold mines ruining the infrastructure. Grrr. Grrr. Do we even have any paper mills? I don't think we have any paper mills. Yeah, we don't have any paper mills, so that... Too slow. So that event was pointless for us. 3 more months. Please, GB, don't start a war now. And I wonder if this is correct to the day, or if it remembers the exact day, or is it just on the month start? No, it looks like... Well, actually, that looked like it ticked over at the start of... the month. Yes, Falky. To try and minimize how much of an effect CPU speed has on how quickly you can pass time, the default rules are no speed 4, so that it's more a question of good plan and well executed. Do you have the correct strategy, and are you good at actually doing it quickly, as opposed to I have the fastest computer, herp derp. But I'm not one of the mods for Vicky, so I merely suppose that based on their existing rules for the EU4 speedrunning. Probably a safe bet, though. Anyway. Time to get ready to click this. And find out if it occurs on the 1st of the month or if it remembers the exact day. Well, it looked like it happened on the 1st of the month to me. We ate Tasmania, which is thankfully not a tropical rainforest here, unlike in EU. It gets my goat that this is a tropical rainforest in EU, because it really isn't tropical. It's quite cold here. What did we inherit? We inherited a food industry. Probably worth making some alcohol. Yeah, it's worth making the alcohol. Sorbian people are moving to New Zealand. I guess there are available jobs in the wheat field that they could be filling. If tools are getting expensive, and it looks like they are, indeed they are, we'll go back to chopping up our cows without tools, make them more profitable. Now I actually do have some frame drops, so for once I can agree. The other times people have been complaining about that, I say no. But this time, yes, I show a 500 dropped frames. The other times people have been complaining, you've all been, as far as I'm concerned, complaining wrongly because I've shown 0 dropped frames in OBS. This time I have to give you that you're correct. Cheers, Tarkus. Thank you for the sub, mate. Oh, I didn't see your questions, Izwan. Sorry. Is Japan a noob-friendly starting nation? No. If you want a friendly starting nation as a noob, I would honestly suggest that the CNs, New South Wales and Hudson Bay, are quite nice for learning how markets and economies work, because you get protected by Great Britain, but you get to learn all about eco. Another similar example would be Cuba. Cuba is a really nice place to do that because you're basically a single state that has access to most things that you would want. You've got coal, you've got iron, you've got logs, you've got luxury food, you've got raw food, and you've got stuff to make extra fancy stuff. So I would suggest Cuba is another nice little starting, like the equivalent of Newbie Island, to go learn how everything works in. I would suggest the colonial nations of either Great Britain or Cuba. Okay, this is about to finish. And then what do we want? Considering that we've got Glassworks building, we probably want the Glassworks as the next thing. Yeah, about the only thing that Cuba doesn't have that you might want is like lead and sulfur, isn't it? Yeah, they don't have lead or sulfur, but they got two of the goods, the ones that let you do steel. So it was these. We got a better PM for our furniture workshops. Let's ramp them up to precision tools. Have another look at the market. What's expensive? The furniture is becoming more expensive. Where are tools on the list? They're a little bit expensive. Let's chuck a couple in here, assuming there's space, but there isn't. Did we get stupid gold mines here as well? No, but there was a barracks, so let's get rid of that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where are the other 2? 5, 6, cotton and tea. Okay, well, sucks to be us. What about over here? There's space over here. You can have a toolworks. Glass, glass, lead. That can probably wait unless this is starting to get hideous again. The hardwood component is hideous, but the other bit is okay. How is that first glassworks doing, and how expensive is lead? Lead is pretty bloody expensive at the moment. On the other hand, glass is even more expensive than the lead. So it may still be profitable to swap this over to this. The answer is yes, it is. Because GB still holds on to India, we've got access to dyes easily enough. So this also makes even more money. How long till we can click the button again? 19 months. So like start-ish of the year after next. You found Belgium is nice, but only if you join Britain's custom union. If you don't, you run into trouble having to build a huge level port here in order to keep goods flowing around. So what you're saying is you want Great Britain to pay for all the ships. If we go have a look at... where is it? Here. This. We can see available convoys. And most of them are British. Rather than having to pay for them ourselves, we do produce a little bit because we have a couple of ports. He's mooching... He's mooching 170 of these convoys from us, but Great Britain does most of the work pushing the goods around his market. And that is nominally part of why you have to pay this fee to be his little bitch. You have to pay him to be his little bitch. Basically get a maximum number of convoys per... But you can always build more ports. So you build a rail... Like, this doesn't consume... this doesn't consume infrastructure. It consumes people, and it consumes clipper ships. Clipper ships consume infrastructure. But the ports also provide infrastructure. So you build one port, upgrade it to this fancier level port, which we don't have access to at the moment, that provides even more infrastructure, because it's not ours. Where's one of ours? Surely there's one here in Sydney. Boom. Costs more clippers, but provides more infrastructure, and you can use that infrastructure to build another shipyard that the loop continues. Net effect, you are turning wood and wages into convoys and infrastructure. Paying to be in a sub-dom relationship is kind of cringe. The way I look at it is, how much money were you spending on your military when you were this guy? Look at my military expenses. In fact, you know what? Even that military expense is too much to bear. Where is... It will be in Tasmania, right? No, let's go find it. Here. Barracks. It was in the bit of New Zealand that we absorbed. There we go. Military budget, precisely 0, which means I can pay them super high because a multiplier on 0 is still 0. and still not need to worry. This is why I was saying, Tarkus, I quite like the conscript meta, because it means you don't have to pay for armies at all when you're at peace. You only start paying for them when you're at war. It is a huge economic saving. Also being able to game them being happy is quite nice. So what are they doing for us now that they're happy? Military tech cost is down. Who needs military tech? We have the loving protection of Mama Great Britain. We don't need an army or a navy. We just need to get richer and richer and richer. We've already moved from number 76 or so up to 40. We are quite possibly one of the richest in the world. Yep, 4th richest in the world. Only bits of Canada are beating us. How do you beat GB without an army? Why would you want to beat GB, Sprivchun? Why would you want to? Once you become a dominion, you're allowed to declare wars on your own terms. You get the benefits of being inside his market. He helps stabilize all your economy with his math, as well as access to all of India's goods without needing to pay for individual trade routes. Like, I think there's a lot of benefit to staying GB's little bitch. Because of the Sikh Achievo? Well, we're not starting as Sikh, Antares, so it's not relevant here. Because Great Britain should get to experience all the benefits of being our dominion. Then I'd have to be the one with an army. That sounds expensive. I don't like the sound of it. Pump that to top. But let this one finish because it's so close to finishing. What would the other Aussies say? We quite like being in the Commonwealth and stuff, Nemablob, because it means we get to show England just how much they suck at sport. Whenever there's anything like the Commonwealth Games, even though we are considerably smaller, etc. than... So it looks like we're going to get screwed over. The GB's going to declare a war just as we're about to be able to click this button. I don't think he's going to finish the war quickly enough. So yeah, we actually quite like still being... Well, the average person quite likes being part of the Commonwealth still, because most people are pretty sporty here. What's with the province names? Well, they came from here. And it was new, and it's in the southern hemisphere, and it was Welsh. Or the new bit of Welsh is how it works. You know, you don't get to be on your high horse, Nemablob, when you named things here what you did. Just because you lost them later doesn't mean your naming conventions were any better. God, that's gonna suck, because I'm not gonna be able to click the button! Boo! Boo, Great Britain ruining our ability to click a button. Under what circumstances is it good to decide to sign a trade agreement pact? Okay, so each individual trade route with an external nation that isn't in your market costs you admin. Oh, we just had some bad events and it's gone down to 0. We could get a good event that gets it to progress again, so it's not like I got anything else I need to do, so I'm not worried. This is just sugar, icing, topping, etc. To continue answering your question, each individual trade route with an external nation costs you bureaucracy. So if I set up one trade route with Qing to... If I set out one trade route to sell, I don't know, furniture to China, and then another trade route to sell furniture to Morocco, and another trade route to sell furniture to somewhere down here, it's going to cost admin, admin, admin. Now, typically, admin is a fairly scarce resource, whereas influence, I find, is usually much more of an available resource. Getting a trade agreement means that all your trade routes with that company, with that country, with that nation, no longer costs admin. It instead just costs you the diplo cost of having that. We have a trade agreement with them. So if it's with a nation that you have multiple, no, you can't dots. It's in the link rule. It's in the rules, in the chat rules, not without asking first. So it means if you have lots and lots of trade routes with one nation, it is probably worth it to you to convert birds into paper. Not paper, the in-game thing, but, you know, convert bird mana into paper mana, into book mana. The other benefits are having a trade agreement with someone helps raise their opinion with you. So, for example, if we go look at... Where are we? Diplomacy here, attitude and relations. Having a trade agreement helps improve how much they like you. So it can help counteract the fact that you're getting aggressive expansion. And for me, it can help counteract other sources of unhappiness with them. And it also then can effectively help you get an alliance or a defensive pact. Hopefully that answers the question to your satisfaction. Yes, we have bird mana, stamp mana, and book mana. Stamp mana, yes. Happy to help. Losrab. Oh, please be the New South Wales ones. No, it was the wrong ones. Actually, that's worth doing if we have the available, and we do, so that's a priority. Chuck that all the way at the top of the list. Even more important than the gold mines. Oh, and I have to remember to go extend that. Yes, everyone, spend your points on the Pokemon long play. Spend the points. I will be extending that shortly. What did you say you wanted, Great Britain? He wants to turn them into their little bitch. So that's going to need basically 100%. Which is unfortunate. Evening, Ludog. Howdy, howdy, howdy. G'day, g'day, g'day. Good night, good night, good night. Good evening, good evening, good evening, where I am. Very good. We can go check if that's actually useful for us and what we want next. Honestly, railroads. We get to mooch off the fact that Great Britain builds trains and we don't, and import them and use them to build railroads. Fix the fact that Sydney's stupid gold rush. Yeah, look, we got even more of them. Now there's 12 gold fields here. And we're probably at like 3 times the available infrastructure. We need one railroad just to supply all the gold fields. Convinced you to buy the game? Well, I hope you have a lovely time with it, Dabubu Pants. We could activate our conscripts and go help. It would be an extra expense, but actually I think this is... Well, actually it's... I mean, not worth it in the sense of money, but it's worth it in the sense of trying to get our goals done. I prefer the armed forces to have more political strength. We can go help Great Britain beat up. If we help them beat them up, the sooner we help, the sooner they win. The sooner they win, the sooner we're allowed to go click our button. Click button. Must be at peace. We could do the little trick. Ta-da. Teleportation no jutsu. Because we've deleted off our army, we're losing a bit of this. That's not that worrisome. Our GDP should continue to grow, and so should population, and it will help raise that up. Also, we're almost about to be able to have the railway we need. I should stop paying the exceedingly high budgets to the army now that we have it raised. It's no longer free. So go back down to a more sane rate of pay. Is there anything else that we can manipulate to our advantage? Not really. Great Britain just demands we pay ever more money to them. Always more. Could tax some more again. Sure, why not? Build that train line. Are the other glassworks making good money? They're making pretty good money, so I'll say yes, finish the last little bit of that before doing that railway. We don't have a navy, so I can't help invade this little bit. I should probably just be waiting here for that. What else could we use? We could use even better cow. We could use even better cow. That's not so useful. That's not so useful. That actually is useful because we do have the ability to use that. Convert this up to even fancier fancy pottery works. Okay, any moment now he should peace out. We're really close to 100%. Hello? Oh, it's continued into the second person. Boo hiss. Well, hopefully Great Britain pieces that out quickly as well. So what do you want to do to Oman? I don't want war reps. Why have you done this? I wish I could capitulate. Oh no, they want war reps from me. Why would you want war reps from me and not... Oh well. Boo hiss. Yes. Okay, and this is now... No, we'll give it one more chance to raise before we give up on it. What else? Construction goods. Could we change up our services to be the fancier kind of services? We totally could, and then we could charge people more money for those services. It doesn't exist yet, is why it isn't telling us what differences these would make. Canneries is being researched. That would actually produce slightly more money. The rest of these are fine. It's probably worth checking out if tools have been fixed. And indeed, tools have been fixed. Tools are... Well, this would actually consume a lot of tools. Let's look at doing it in one of them. It would totally tank our meat market. What is the meat market? We can't tell. There's an excess. No, we don't need to do that then. What we could do is use more tools in our gold mines. And explodificate, but I don't like explodificating, it costs you people. And we aren't a nation that starts off with a very big population pool. We can't really afford to explode our people. The only ones that aren't profitable are the ones that don't exist, so that's fine. We don't get to set any of this because we're inside GB's market. You can't set a priority because you are part of Britain's market. Ooh. I think we're getting some placeholder iconography here. Enactment chance up or... No, gain popularity. Yeah, it's placeholder art. It is definitely placeholder art. Come on, GB, please. Please finish this off so I can click the button. Oh, the issue is that they can't get to them. So because this guy is landlocked and doesn't touch Oman, now that Great Britain made these get spat out perhaps, or he's unwilling to violate their sovereignty to walk in, we've got to wait for them to get sick on the grounds of having cost slash local unhappy people. Here we go. Base decay because X amount of their populations are radicals. Well, at the moment, Egypt have Constantinople. They obviously want to reform Byzantium. God, this is going to take forever. They're never going to want to leave. Please. What will you even get from this? You won't get anything. It's kind of tempting to substitute this down so that I don't have to pay as much money. Now that there's no way to use our navy to actually help the war. Well, our army, I should say, to actually help the war. Oh, it's a super long war, and it's gonna be here for a while. Who are you trying to kill? Oh, these are guys are rebelling from you. Well, that I can help. And yet, no. Why can't I help here? I would have assumed I could help. Or has he already? He might have already, because it's already showing Britain things. Maybe he already ate them. Oh no, it's not wartime yet. Yeah? No, it is wartime. Is he fully occupied? Nah, I'm confused. Oh well. Surely there won't be more wars preventing us succeeding. Realistically, this one should be finished before this one is, I would expect. Okay, and how's this now that it actually has some market access? That should help those gold fields be happier. Yep. These are so quick to build that we'll pop 2 of these up to the top. We still wait the federation of our country. Britain continues to declare more wars. We will bide our time. There's nothing for it but to wait. The only other thing you can hope for is that someone else declares on GB and gives you your freedom, but then you can't really... Then they will most likely be antagonistic to you or rather than friendly, and you won't be able to click the button to absorb everyone. The petite bourgeoisie can be told to be less racist. That graph's a bit up and down. Why did we get the separate piece? Oh, we got that this war is over one. I thought we were getting the separate peace bird, but we were getting the, these guys are surrendering to Great Britain bird. Has anyone here yet understood exactly what one needs to do to get support as unification candidate? Sorry? I don't understand the, I don't understand the question, Fufi. If you mean what controls whether or not you can click this, I mean, it tells you. Is it peace? Have nationalism? Have GB love you? Have the other Australian tags love you? And be the biggest in terms of GDP? Now, we are a low pop nation, so we could look at our states that have no pop available, like New South Wales, and quite possibly get some value out of swapping them over to using people minimization tech. So, like, even though this uses considerably more tools and coal, it saves us labourers that can then go elsewhere. Same thing for these logging camps. Saves us labourers that can go elsewhere. Same with you. Memory says this doesn't save labourers. It just increases... yeah, it increases meat. Which we're not super interested in. As two independent tribes. Oddsy. Ngati Toa and Ngai Tahu. Everyone's already moved to the gold mines. They're all shopkeepers and labourers in the gold mines. Sorbian people have once again moved to us, but this time they're not moving to New Zealand. They're moving to New South Wales here, presumably Gold Rush. How are we doing for our attractiveness? We are the most attractive place in the world, except perhaps British Columbia and Alaska. Looks like British Columbia is pretty good. What's going on here? Why are you so attractive? Because the intelligentsia are boosting it, and they have really high standard of living. They have really high standard of living. What's going on? Oh, they're doing the same thing. So yes, they're having a gold rush. Alaska, yes. Alaska is very desirable because it's a colony for them. Here. Sparsely populated gold rush and colonial resettlement policy. So it attracts their people. It attracts their people extra much. Honestly, we need another railway here. Could we provide anything else? Not really. We can pick the next one of these. We got our chemical bleaching done. We'll go mechanized workshops. That means we can go over here and say you can use even more dye to produce even more fancy porcelain. So, yoink some more fancy dye from India, bring it here, produce extra fancy porcelain, sell it to the rich Brits. War is still going. Wiz, we gotta wait for this war for Great Britain to agree to sweet, sweet neutrality and peace here. It's ticking up at a mighty 0.4 a month. Armenian people have begun moving to Tassie. I'm not having the extra mortality. I'd rather that industry lose a bit of temporary throughput. So were there available jobs here? Why are people moving? Ah, we hadn't clicked that button for one. Although that now means I need some more bureaucracy. We can create the great telephone exchange up here that runs our bureaucracy. There's nothing else really worthwhile here. That can be more important than all of that. Get our smiley placeholder art happening again. Primary war goal. War underscore goal underscore count. War underscore goal underscore count. Holder, target, effects. War underscore goal underscore count underscore description. What do you consider when you pick... Do you have free population? Running nothing but wood and fabric ones is population intensive. Running this one is more population dense. Also, how multi-use is your tools and iron? Because usually you aren't going to completely screw up your balance for fabric and wood, but it's very relatively easy to screw up your balance for iron and tools by going and changing some production method here to something that uses more steel or something that uses more tools, and then suddenly your building industry costs twice as much to run. Care about the Aboriginal populations in Tasmania. They're getting converted month by month. We're getting really close. 97. 97.6. 98. We're about to get even better textile mills and furniture manufacturing. Do we even have any textile mills though? Oh god. No, GB! We were just we're at 99%! Why would you do this? Why? Can you at least reach this person? Yes, he can reach this person, and we could go help. Teleportation, no jutsu. Help this get done. Yeah. There's high attrition in the middle of African desert. Fair enough. We need to go change. It was you over to the fancier this. And what was the other one that it gave us more of? It gave us textile, but we don't use textile yet. We don't have any textile manufactories. Yeah, we don't have any, so that doesn't help us. Attrition hurts, but we need to kill him quicker. The quicker he is dead, the quicker we are at peace, and the quicker we can click our button. Okay, and 100% occupied. Now, our units come back home. We get ready to click this. Hopefully Great Britain clicks the button as well. Don't care about boats. GB provides all the boats. Thank you. We ate Western Australia. In fact, it looks like he clicked the button for the other one, so we might be able to actually go do the thing. No, we need to finish off colonizing here or here, you say. The easiest one to do will be this one. So we stop this. No. Here. This. We want this to become that one. Go. And then we colonize this one little bit of here and it will count as... It doesn't even take any time. Normally finishing a colony takes time, but because this is one that's in a state we already control, it goes ultra, ultra quick. Who do we want to get happier? Probably the industrialists at the moment. Can we get some more legitimacy then, so that we can pass this? Yes, yes we can, except that someone's grumpy. The intelligentsia are angry, so let's go pay them some more money. Who else wouldn't let us do it? No, that was everyone. Welcome to the party. Legitimacy goes up, time to enact goes down, support for enacting goes up. At least until one of these goes ultra grumpy. I'm not paying money. And I don't want the... I'm fine with the migration attraction due to the gold mines going away, going down. And in fact, it's fixed our infrastructure problem. If anything, I'd like more of the gold mines to deplete. We've got enough money, we can probably have another construction. Pop it to the top of the list. So that passes, we click colonize here, and we are done. And then we go do Canada, which is much the same thing. Hope Great Britain doesn't... Well, actually, no. Is Canada, it is easier because Hudson Bay starts as a dominion rather than a puppet. So we won't get automatically called into all of Britain's wars. Canada, yes. Australians come from Australia. So Canadians must come from Canada. It's the only sensible explanation. Better baked goods. So where was that? There was one bakery in here. We could look at doing these things. It technically says it produces more money. It technically says it produces more money. How does one get book manor and a control as queen? You build railroads. And you build government things everywhere. Everywhere. And you advance the technologies that make them more efficient. Taxation capacity. Effectiveness of the production method for the government building. The taxation capacity and the production method for the building. Speaking of, next one of these, what do we actually care? Money. Ah, colonial resettlement. Go, 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 go. Yeah, here. Colonize. Do. Button. Click. Form. Australia, done. Okay, next. Stop recording.